In the name of God, the most gracious, the most merciful. Those who disbelieve and bar people from the path of God, He lays waste their works. But those who believe and do righteous deeds and believe in all that has been sent down upon Muhammad, for it is indeed the truth from their Lord. He absolves them of their misdeeds and sets aright their intellect and insight. That is because those who disbelieve have followed falsehood, while those who believe have followed the truth from their Lord. So it is that God puts forth for all people the true semblance of their way. Thus, whenever you believers face in battle those who disbelieve, strike their necks a lethal blow until, when you have thoroughly pacified them, you shall tie fast their bonds. Thereafter, let there be either a gracious offer of freedom for them or a ransom paid. They shall hold until war lays down its burdens. Thus shall it be. Yet, had God so willed, He more surely could have executed vengeance on them without fighting. But it is so that He may try some of you by others. Yet, as to those who are killed in the path of God, never shall He lay waste their works. He shall guide aright as well the surviving believers among them, and set aright their intellect and insight. Moreover, He shall admit them into the garden of paradise, which He has made known to them in this Quran. O you who believe, if you support the cause of God, He will support you and set firm your feet. As for those who disbelieve, for them there is only utter misery in destruction awaiting them, and He will lay waste their works. That is because they abhor the book that God has sent down. Thus does He render utterly futile all their works. Have they not then journeyed through the earth to see how devastating was the end of those who belied God's messages before them? God utterly demolished them, and for the disbelievers, there is ever the like of it looming. That is because God is the patron of those who believe, while the disbelievers have no patron. Indeed, God shall admit those who believe and do righteous deeds into gardens beneath which rivers flow. But those who disbelieve shall enjoy themselves on earth and eat and drink as cattle eat and drink. Then the fire of hell shall be a lasting dwelling for them. For how many a community, O Prophet, which was mightier in power than your community that has expelled you, have we utterly destroyed. Thus for them there is no supporter. Then is one who is leading a life based on clear proof from his Lord, like one to whom the evil of his own deeds is made fair-seeming, and who imitates the practices of those who merely follow their own whims. Consider the wondrous state of the Garden of Paradise, which is promised to the God-fearing. Therein are rivers of water ever fresh, and rivers of milk, its taste unchanging, and rivers of wine delectable to the drinkers, and rivers of honey wholly purified. Moreover, for them therein are fruits of every kind, and forgiveness from their Lord. Are they like those who shall abide forever in the fire of hell, and who are given to drink of a scalding fluid that shall shred their entrail? Now also among those who oppose you, O Prophet, are some hypocrites who listen to you as you teach the believers, but when they leave your presence, they say mockingly to those who have been given knowledge to inspire doubt in them, "What did he mean to say just now?" These are the ones on whose hearts God has set a seal. Thus they but follow their own whims. But those who are rightly guided, God increases them in guidance, and He bestows on them their due fear of God. Then do they who are hypocrites await other than the hour of doom, which shall come upon them suddenly. Then know that its portents have already come. Yet when it comes upon them, how then will their remembrance of this admonition help them? Know well then that there is no God but the one God. So steadfastly seek much forgiveness for your sin and for that of the believing men and the believing women. For God knows well, O people, your wakeful movement to and fro as you make your way in the world. And He knows well your abiding in private, at leisure and rest. Now, after long years of persecution, those who believe said, if only a surah were sent down permitting us to fight injustice. Yet, when a decisive surah was sent down, and fighting in the path of God was mentioned therein, you could see those in whose doubting hearts there is a sickness looking at you, O Prophet, like one fainting in the throes of death. Then woe to them, for God has commanded them to obedience and a forthright word. So, when the command to fight had been issued and resolved, had they remained true-hearted to God, it would have been far better for them. Then is it to be that you hypocrites shall turn away from God to spread corruption in the land, and your divisiveness tear apart the bonds of your kinship? These are the faithless ones whom God has cursed, and thus has He made them deaf to guidance and blinded their eyes to it. Will they not then reflect upon admonitions of the Quran? Or is it rather that on some hearts there are their own locks? Indeed, those hypocrites who have turned their backs on God after the revealed guidance has been made clear to them, it is only Satan that has tempted them and prolonged worldly hope for them. That is because they said with conviction to those among the unbelievers who abhor what God has sent down, we will obey you by withholding ourselves in the matter of fighting, for God knows all their secrets. So, how shall it be when the angels take their souls at death, striking their faces and their backs? That is because they have followed what brings down upon them the wrath of God. For they have abhorred His good pleasure. Thus He has rendered utterly futile all their works. Or did those in whose doubting hearts there is a sickness really think that God would never expose their ill will? Yet, had we so willed, we would have shown them to you, O Prophet, manifestly, so that you would recognize them by their indelible mark, or so that you would clearly recognize them by their permanently twisted speech. For God knows the deeds of all of you. But most surely we shall test you, so that we might make known those who strive among you for the sake of God, and those who are truly patient. We shall moreover test the merit of all that you say and do. Indeed, those who disbelieve and who bar people from the path of God and who rebel against the Messenger after the revealed guidance of God has been made clear to them, shall never harm God in anything, but He shall render all their works utterly futile. O you who believe, you shall obey God, and you shall obey the Messenger. So do not nullify the reward of your works by breaching your covenant. Indeed, those who disbelieve and bar people from the path of God, then die while being inveterate disbelievers, never will God forgive them. Therefore, do not become faint-hearted and sue for peace when just struggle is imperative, for you shall be the uppermost, for God is with you, and never will He decrease the reward of your deeds. Indeed, the life of this world is only play and amusement. But if you believe and are God-fearing, He will give you your rewards in full, nor does He ask that you give to the cause of God all your wealth. Were He to ask you for it, so as to heavily press you, you would become miserly, and thus would He bring forth your ill will. There you are, you have been called upon to spend in the path of God, but among you are those who become miserly. Yet anyone who becomes miserly only against the good of his own soul. For it is God alone who is the self-sufficient, and it is you who are the poor. So, if you ever turn away, trading faith for unbelief, He shall replace you with a people other than yourselves. Then never shall they be like you.